Good morning, everybody. It's Stephanie Anderson with Entertaining with Food and Spirits, and I'm really glad to be here today. I wasn't here last month, and I missed being here and being part of this show, and Jenny was here and did a fabulous job with lots of things local going on. Speaking of local, I have a very good friend of mine here, Martha Dodson, and Martha and I have been friends for a long time, and one thing I love about Martha is that I know when I go to your house, we're always eating good. And she doesn't say, well, I can't believe you don't know how to do this. She just says, let me show you how, or actually just sit down and have a meal. So Martha has kind of expanded, and you were here 2 months ago when we just hit on Martha's Kitchen, Northwest Arkansas, and River Valley, I think I should add.
Yes.
So really a treat today, because this takes me back. Looking at canning jars and all this, my grandmother, the work, the time, I can't say that I loved it, because I can remember the crocks, I can remember it being hot, I can remember everything being sterilized and hand me this and do that. So one thing I really just admire about you is that this is kind of a passion for you.
It is.
And
I enjoy it.
I love that, because it's not my passion, but my passion is to eat it, for sure. And I love everything that Martha cooks. I mean, my husband and I, when we go, we're very good friends with Martha and Chris, and we enjoy just being around them. But I think we all come to the table. I mean, that's kind of our love language too. And once you also try this, you're going to want to come to Martha's table, and you can without even going to her house. So there's a lot that goes into this. And now you've started your business, Martha's Kitchen, Northwest Arkansas, and I will add River Valley to that. And so I want you to just tell us a little bit about, I know last time when you were here we talked about it, but how's it going? Because this is a new small business that we love to support, small businesses. And how's that going? And again, how did this evolve?
Well, it's been super busy. Number one, I mean, I'm very, very busy, but I have loved it. I love to see families come back to the table, and that we can go from farm to table, and we have an 18-acre farm in Goshen, and so we do grow a lot of these things, and I try to locally source anything that we don't grow. But you know what the ingredients are, you know, in the table.
Absolutely.
And I have always loved to can. I did that like with my granny and that sort of thing. And so just taking that, and I enjoy cooking.
Yes, you do.
So I do. I really do enjoy cooking. But you know, the really cool thing is when people like love what you've done. And that is the exciting thing. So as much as I can do and put things together, that's what I'm about. I'm passionate about doing that.
Well, and I love that you know, because a lot of times I'll go and I'll see canned goods, but I don't purchase it because maybe I don't know enough about it. I don't know if it's good. Well, I can vouch for this. And everybody that tries it wants it. You were in, I think, Fayetteville in the last month or so, and you even had, I don't know if it was a food truck or a restaurant, but once they tried, was it which jelly was it?
It was the peach pepper jelly. Actually, it was all the pepper jellies. Like whatever I was featuring at the moment is what I sold out of. So let me just say that. But the barbecue there at City Park in Fayetteville is amazing. But they tried the pepper jellies on the ribs, and they were just out of this world.
And they were like buying it up,
They were buying it up and sending people over. And so when I tell you I sold out of several cases of pepper jelly that day, I really, really did do it in about 6 hours. But you know, the nice thing about, I had put up a lot of peaches from Clarksville and in my freezer, and so I have had those. But I do strawberry pepper jelly, blackberry pepper jelly, peach pepper jelly, and just regular pepper jelly. You know, so really, like whatever anyone samples, that's what they want to try.
It's that sweet, savory,
absolutely, and you get that little
bit of heat. And for people that are not heat people, because I know last weekend you were at the Dogwood Festival in Siloam, and a lady walked up and said, I really don't do heat. What would you say for those people? Is this going to be too spicy for them?
This is not. My pepper jellies are not. You're just going to get a little kick of the spice. They're not. If you really, really want real heat, then the cowboy candy is the way to go, because it's just jalapenos that is like caramelized.
It's a sweet heat.
It is a sweet Amazing on burgers, nachos, that sort of thing. But the peach pepper jelly, as you'll see right here, you know, you'll take.
We get to try.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay,
absolutely. And you want to like really pour that out there. You see it. I do something a little different than what a lot of people do with my pepper jellies with the fruit, and even with my plain pepper jelly. I slice my peppers, so you're really seeing the jalapenos in there. So if you want that heat, you're going to get it. Make sure that you get a piece with that jalapeno on there. Look at that.
Wow.
I was like,
Don't you all wish you were here? Because we're all going to get to try this later. So those of you out there in the community, we will be sharing with you where to purchase, how to get this. You don't even have to do it yourself.
No.
Martha's already done it for you. And
That's
I love just being able to say, well, Martha's already cooked that.
That's right. You going to try that?
Okay.
A little peach on there. I want a little bit of pepper on mine. And I'm going to, whoa, my cracker's not holding up.
That is so good. And, you know, it takes the jalapeno, and you still feel that heat with it, but you've got spice, but then the sweet with it. Like right now, I'm not like, give me some water. You know, it's just a really delicious, and this is one, you know, again, I love to gather around with the charcuterie board and put this on this.
Exactly.
This is a chip and dip, cracker and dip, stand around, visit with your friends, maybe have a glass of wine, have a glass of water, whatever you want to do. But this just would draw people in.
It would. And you know we love charcuteries, and so like we're all about them. And over probably the last 5 years, our family, when we have a gathering, we always have a huge charcuterie.
Always.
And I have the pepper jellies, the salsas, the, you know, any of the cheeses and the meats and those kinds of things for us to come together, because when my kids come through the door, they're hungry. Everybody's hungry.
We know when we come to your house, our mouth starts watering because we know, I mean, really, I can say going back to my grandma's house, I knew when I walked in, there would be something to eat and we would gather. And Chris, Chris Dodson.
That's right.
The man, Chris Dodson. He makes a lot of these charcuterie boards.
Oh, yes, he does.
It's fun to go to your house because, one, we eat, but we also go out to the workshop. And work on the planer and all that, and that's been super fun.
And we do that. It's like just like to get together and like we'll go out and like, what are we making tonight? You know, we're gonna make some bowls, or we're gonna make a charcuterie board.
He can do anything.
Yes.
And so I know he sells those occasionally, but they're beautiful.
Right, at 410 Vintage. You can buy those in Fayetteville at 410 Vintage. His charcuterie boards.
All right, his charcuterie boards are at 410 Vintage in Fayetteville, but they're beautiful. They really are.
What he says is, I let this wood talk to me. And so he really does the live edge on things. He'll use some epoxy in them, but it really, like, what this piece of wood lends itself to is what he does. You know, he does sycamore, walnut, you know.
I can't remember that piece
maple.
I got off my grandparents' farm.
Right.
It's got like this almost honey look to it. It kind of sparkles in it, and then you put that mineral oil on top of it, which then you can put food. And so it's just an easy showpiece.
Yes.
If you don't want charcuterie boards, that's not your style, then just use whatever mix match dishes you have to just display, because to me this goes back. So if we're decorating these days, and remember back in the kitchens, farmhouse look a little bit with the different colors of tablecloths and maybe plates and mix match and so on. This just brings me back. And then we have these gorgeous flowers on the table today out of Susan's yard. Peonies, peonies. I can smell them from here. This just is, I don't know, it just makes me think back to the farm. And a lot of this has come from that. So we just tried, so this was the peach pepper jelly.
Yes.
And I do think on a burger, so, you know, a lot of times we're eating and we think, okay, well, we'll put it on cream cheese. Or you just think of a jelly with biscuits, which, by the way, we'll talk about shortly. With Martha, I think my mouth really is watering. I think I just had to swallow there. But so Martha has all these other easy recipes, even her biscuits. And so that's what we think of with jelly a lot. But this goes further beyond. So let's talk about pull hall slaw? Because when you first said that to me, I was like, what? What are
we having here? So this is pool hall slaw, and the pool hall slaw is my very, very, very best seller. In fact, I just made a batch of this last weekend and sold out of every bit of it at the Dogwood Festival. And I had this little jar at home because it wasn't enough to go in a pint jar, and I went ahead and canned it, and it was a good thing I had this because I would have had to have made some for the show.
Right.
And so I have this, and I'm going to have to make some more. But it is spicy, it is hot,
okay,
and it is sweet.
Sweet heat.
This is amazing on barbecue.
How about a hot dog?
That's like
the
I
relish
have
on
to
that?
have it on my hot dog.
Wow.
The brats, anything like that. I have like put little smokies in a crock pot and put this on it instead of a barbecue sauce.
Oh.
It's amazing that way. But it is my very best seller. I mean, this is the thing you try that people are like, I gotta have that.
Really?
Oh yeah, and they'll be calling. I mean that's.
Do we want to put some in here so we can try?
Yeah, or we can just pull and try it. Yeah,
okay, we're friends.
Yeah, I'm not going to double dip. It is a mustard base.
Oh my goodness. Why have I not had that before?
I don't know. I normally always, have it out for it, but
Wow.
it brings the heat.
It does bring some heat.
It's super sweet at first, or not super sweet, but sweet when you get that
And then it
savory
kind
heat.
of lingers a little bit. Oh, on a hot
And your
dog
mouth
this
just
summer?
waters too.
It is
with
watery.
It is one of those things that you get that tang, and in fact, I have to have another bite.
That's so
I
good.
haven't
you know
had
what?
anything
These
to
are
eat this
actually
morning.
good pairs. It does have
Absolutely,
the sweet, so as
they
you're
do.
sitting around.
I will put this on a charcuterie. I can't believe I tried it.
I know. I can't believe I haven't either. Well, it's not summer yet, and you just kind of started. And so this would be great if you're having a barbecue. And I love, like at the top of your peach pepper jelly here, like the red and white checkered cloth. It just makes me think of summer and getting together and having a little barbecue or hot dogs and grilling and snacking and just hanging out, whether it's on your patio, whether it's by a pool, whether it's a family gathering. Now, Mother's Day is coming up.
Yes.
I can so see this and what we're going to have in the next segment too as a basket.
Yes.
To just put together. In fact, I'm going to try to go see my mom before too long. And may just put up a little basket
for
and
her.
take her, and then when she has people over, then this would be easy.
I've sold several baskets for people for Mother's Day and just like birthday or whatever. This is something you can it's hard to find something to give even a man at times.
True.
But, you get some salsa, you've got some chip, some things like that, and it is perfect. Of Christmas, I sold a bunch of different ones just because of that. Like my son likes this or that, or I had a friend come down and she visited my shop at Midtown in Springdale and got items for her son for his birthday.
Hard to give gifts to people sometimes when you don't know what they want. But this food always speaks typically.
It does.
I've seen a lot of people say, what do I get for people besides a gift card? Because it just seems impersonal. Very personal, very specialized, and delicious.
Right. I mean, if you can do like some Southern buttermilk biscuits and some chocolate gravy and a homemade grape jelly, I mean, come on.
That's amazing. Well, guys, don't leave. We'll be right back with more of Martha's Kitchen, and we're going to eat some more delicious food. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. We had a little appetizer in the first segment with some jams and jellies and talked about how you could use it on ribs, how you could use it eat it with crackers, how you could have a hot dog this summer, which the weather has been so nice lately. It's been a little rainy and windy, but it's also, yesterday was beautiful. And so it just makes us want to get outside. We had gorgeous flowers. Everybody's, just thinking about summer coming, school's almost out. And with that, you just, again, think about entertaining. And so we had a quick little bite, and now we have moved on to more of our main meal. And this is a 30 minutes to create this. You baked this morning.
Yes.
And it's called Outback Chicken.
Outback Chicken, yes, yes.
And you could make this Outback if you wanted.
You absolutely can. This chicken meal could be cooked actually on the grill. And with, you put your seasoning on it. It could actually be done on the grill, like marinated in the seasoning with the water, and then it could actually be grilled and put out there and then done it. I did this in the oven this morning.
Okay.
So I just, quick. In fact, my chicken was a little bit frozen still in the middle because I pulled it out and put it in the fridge last night before I went to bed. I put it in here, and it was like set a little bit, so I knew I needed to cook it a little bit longer. I needed to cook it for 45 minutes instead of the normal 30.
Okay.
But it's super easy to make. When I say you take the packet and you've got chicken in there and pour it on there with a cup of water, and I topped it with the bacon, put it in the oven at 350, just like the directions from the back tell you to do.
Wow.
Also, if you're a little intimidated by cooking, or just, I've got a QR code here, and you can pull in on this QR code, and they're going to show you what the QR code would look like, and it would pull you to my Google Doc that has me cooking something, pictures, step by step. I also have all the nutrition information there. I have little hints for you, like I put on there. I like to actually do this on the grill, oftentimes.
Well, it might give it that little bit of a char flavor, smoke flavor, whatever people like with their taste, and then you can put it in the oven later. And I love that it has bacon, cheese. It looks like it maybe even has mushrooms. So I guess if somebody doesn't like mushrooms, don't add mushrooms.
Well, the mushrooms are in the packet, so you'd have to take them out.
Okay.
Because I dehydrate those, and I have them in there, all of the seasonings. In fact, I was dehydrating corn and celery yesterday for some of my packets, because like everything that I can do, and I'm like the ingredients are on here. I was going to tell you exactly what you're going to find in there, except for like spices. Some of it, I'm just going to say spices. I can't give every secret away.
No, don't. But it just adds so much flavor to it. And if I could see that for a second. So last night I made, what did I tell you?
You made the creamy chicken chili.
I made creamy chicken chili last night. So believe it or not, I love to mow and brush hog. Like it's a favorite thing of mine to do. I put in some earbuds, I go out, I mow. It's peaceful to me. I listen to a good book, a good podcast, or some great music. But before I went out, I put on the creamy chicken chili, frozen chicken breast, took a packet of what Martha had given me, sprinkled it on there, added water. I think it was a can of Rotel and some cream cheese, and I put the lid on it. I went out, I brush hogged, I came back, I changed clothes real quick, I started up a little bit, then I went to watch the Razorbacks play. We went to the baseball game last night. I'm busy. I like to be busy. It's my personality. I came home, asked my husband how dinner was. He said it was amazing. That's how easy that was. Now, Martha, if I can do it, I'm just here to tell you, anybody can, because this is why I'm so crazy about this too, is there's just times that it's busier than others. And I know I kept looking at this going, okay, directions, place chicken in crock pot, do this, step-by-step instructions. And then if I really want to see a little bit more, I love that there's a QR code. I think that's genius. And it gives us step-by-step instructions. And so today, you got up this morning, made Outback Chicken, which people may have heard that other places. Sounds delicious.
It really is. Do you want to try it?
I do want to try it.
I think we should try this then.
And while you're cutting that, I just want to talk about some of the other options that we have here. So earlier, when we were talking about jams and jellies, and a lot of times, we all grew up having biscuits and jelly. Well, let me just show you what our friend Martha has created for us. So this is called Southern Buttermilk Biscuits. Now, guys, I'll tell you a little secret. When Martha's making biscuits at home and she'll have just this much dough left, she's about to throw it out. I'm like, oh no, let's make one more tiny biscuit of that. We cannot throw that out because they're just so fabulous. So now I can make my own because Martha's given me all the directions and everything in this bag for the most part to do it. And if I need something, it tells me on the front, you will need, I'm surprised she doesn't say Stephanie, you will need 1 stick of butter.
That's all you
And
need.
so that's all this needs. If I get confused, I go to the QR code, and then I'm going to have biscuits. Now, to me, biscuits and gravy. That's something that we all love, or you can have biscuits and jelly. But how about biscuits and chocolate gravy? Now, a lot of people said, I've never heard of that. My friend Mary, I went to see her, and she lives in Oklahoma, and she said, you know, we really hadn't heard much about that until we came to Arkansas. So I don't know exactly how far and wide. I know my grandparents really did not make chocolate gravy, but some friends did.
My mom did.
And I was so excited and thought, what kind of heaven am I getting to have for breakfast? And so I love Martha's chocolate gravy also.
That's my mama's recipe.
It is.
It is.
Can you tell that I eat at Martha's house a lot, or try to? So anyway, just different options. There's chocolate gravy and the biscuits. We have a Stevens special. A lot of us know about Stevens special.
That is my biggest seller.
Okay.
You know, a lot of kids really like it. You know, it's rice and cheese dip and you know,
who doesn't
chicken
like
and
that?
Absolutely. But really like to make sure that the seasonings are really, really good and just on target always.
And I want to add to that, we went to your house, Lisa and a friend of ours, and we were making recipes, and Martha said, I want your honest feedback.
Absolutely.
And so when we tried some of these in the beginning, like I took one home and I was like, I just felt like it was too this or didn't have enough of this. She was like, okay, scrap that. I'm going to add more. I'm going to take out. So it has definitely been trial and error.
It has been.
And you want to make sure that it's perfect and tastes fabulous, and she's let those of us around try it, and you know, it's hard, but no, we gave positive feedback because we want this to sell,
right?
And you keep changing as you need to and trying to make it just as it needs to be, not too salty, not too spicy,
right?
As the Three Little Bears would say, it was just right, as Goldilocks.
Yeah. And in fact, you can see here from the Outback chicken, like you can do 6 chicken breasts with this. I want a family to be able to enjoy this. There's plenty of sauce there. I put it all on there because I really like this seasoning, but you could get 2 meals out of this if it was like my husband and I, and you're going to do 2 or 3 chicken breasts. Right. Let's try this.
Well, let's try it. I'm going to dive into this. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised, but this is my first time. I haven't tried this before. And then you get some of the cheese, some of it. So what all is in Outback chicken as far as the sauce here that's around it?
Oh well, I can't tell you about the whole
Okay,
like
well,
sauce.
what might,
you know,
I see cheese and bacon.
A lot of different seasonings, and it's a different kind of seasoning. You do have bacon on it. There's dehydrated mushrooms in it. I'm going to tell you that because that's on the package directions.
Right. Oh my goodness.
But it's just flavor.
It is
so much
flavor. Is everything. You know, a lot of times we have chicken. It's, you know, we're trying to eat healthy. Well, let's have chicken. It's kind of like chicken again. So flavor's huge.
I can tell you this recipe is a keto recipe, and it's also gluten-free.
Which we all, yeah, that's perfect. So keto friendly, gluten-free, and could serve an entire family. And if you have picky eaters that don't want certain things, you can take that out. But all the spices in there, it is so flavorful. And I'm a salt person, and I love to add salt. I don't need any salt in this. Which, I mean, it's truly perfection, and so good. And this is my first time to have the Outback chicken. So John the other day in Siloam, he bought what, the Parmesan? You said
the
was
creamy
also
Parmesan
really,
chicken.
So lots of different chicken options, and then we bought one that had, what did you have? It was like the pork roast.
It's the Fiesta Carnitas.
Fiesta Carnitas. Okay, I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Super easy. I mean, you throw it in with a pork roast, and you add some water, and you leave it for 6 hours in a crock pot. Come home and shred it. It's just very, very flavorful.
These look like street tacos, which I love. I tried to avoid flour tortillas a lot just for the gluten. And so you could put corn or flour, and it was fabulous. And it was really easy, the way you had pulled it, and then everybody could kind of make their own. You can make them up. But so there's chicken. There is the garlic steak bites and potatoes.
Garlic steak bites is so good. And all you need is some butter and some steak.
And okay, so I always get a little bit confused when I go and I'm like, well, what kind of steak do I get? Which pork roast is best? How would you guide somebody
so on the
to
QR
know what
code,
to buy?
I do say I normally just do the sirloin steak with the garlic steak bites because it's going to sit in that crock pot. It's going to get really good and tender.
Okay.
You know, we actually
just a
have some
sirloin
beef
steak.
that's already processed, so I've even used some stew meat from it because it's really good.
Okay.
But normally I don't. Normally if I'm going to buy a steak, if I'm going to Sam's or something, I'm going to buy a sirloin steak and use it. I have bought, you know, T-bone or whatever else for it, but typically just a sirloin steak for that. It's
so
really
we could
good.
go down to our local Allen's.
Yes.
Or Sam's Club or wherever you buy and get steak, and then like a pork roast. I mean, it just says pork roast on it. And you
Just a pork roast will work. What I had last weekend was a pork loin, just because I had half of a pork loin that I used, and it worked fine for it.
Oh, it was really good.
You know, but you don't have to have a loin. You can just use a pork roast, and you know,
And
it
as
has
that
a little more
marinates
marbling
in
in
the
it.
crock pot, it will just fall apart, and then you can just shred it and then do as you want to. And
Right. You put it in your tortillas, a little bit of cilantro and some onion, a little cheese, and you have dinner. Or you can put them on tortilla chips and make some nachos.
which we love all of that. And
I
so
love it.
I like to have people over, but again, thinking about preparing everything, it stresses me out a little bit of, will it taste good, and will I have enough, and will it be what people want? And so I always try to think, okay, what would be easy? And I like these options, and it will feed, you know, if I need more, do two of them. But it's just quick and easy, and it's pretty much done for me.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think lots of people will want to try this, whether it be the jams and jellies, the salsa, the pool hall slaw. Where are you going to be, and how do they get this?
Okay, so I have 4 locations, and they'll put those up there for you. I have them on my website. You can order on my website for the meals.
Okay.
The nearest one to where we are today would be Midtown Mall in Springdale. You can get the meals there. You can get them at the little shops on the square in Paris, and if you haven't been shopping downtown Paris, you really
Paris,
should.
Arkansas,
I love
the River
it.
Valley
In fact,
area.
I'm going four-wheeling that way this weekend. But also at Junkies Vintage in Van Buren and 412 Vintage in West Siloam Springs. Actually, it's called Court, Oklahoma, but it's just right past the casino there on the left. Those are the 4 locations right now. I'm looking for more locations because
Maybe
I want
closer
to
to
get.
Bella
I would
Vista?
like to have Martha's Kitchen in Bella Vista and Rogers, Bentonville, and all of the places.
In a way it is, because you can order it.
Absolutely.
And so if I were to order, how would I go about doing that?
It's on my website. It's Martha's Kitchen NWA, or at 9. Go there. It is right there. They put it on there for you. But you can look it up anyway. It's there. I'm on Facebook. My website is there. I'm on Instagram.
Facebook. What's it called?
It is Martha's Kitchen NWA.
Okay, so
on Facebook and on Instagram, both of them are that.
Okay.
But you can go to my website. You can order that way.
And then you have some specials.
Yes, I do. Like on the meals packets, you know, if you buy 3, you get 1 free, and that's a really nice option to actually, you know, to do that. I have those on there.
And there's some free shipping if you spend.
If you spend on the website, if you spend over $50, then it's free shipping for you for your items, which, you know,
It's great. And honestly, you know, I want a few to choose from, because sometimes I have steak in the freezer. Sometimes I have chicken. And so it just kind of depends on what we're doing, as well as what we might want to cook. So it's good to have a few options. It's good to always have some of these jams and jellies for a quick, oh, people are coming over, let me just get this out real quick.
You need to be sure and join me at the Northwest Arkansas Makers. I'm going to be at City Park in Fayetteville on June 1st. If you have not been to City Park, you really need to. I mean, you can go around and have a nice drink and visit with people. The location is amazing. You're right there by the bike trail.
So City Park.
City Park. They have
Leverett?
barbecue. Yes, on
June 1st.
On June 1st, and they have barbecue on Friday and Saturday nights.
Okay.
They have food all the other times as well. You know, great burgers, that sort of thing. But there'll be 40 vendors that will be there, and
so a good weekend to get
really
out.
like, you know, local artists and that sort of thing. And then Martha's Kitchen will be there, so you can. I always have samples when I will be at the Washington County Fair this coming year with my things. I continue to add those sorts of venues that I can be. You know, I just got started.
I know. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed.
I just got my things in the store, really, you know, this last month.
Sure.
And so, or in the stores, and so like we're just growing.
You are growing, and I love it because people are seeing what we're seeing. They're trying it, and it's easy. Well, this has been fabulous, Martha. Thank you for sharing,
for having me.
And we hope that you will rewatch, write down all the things if you missed it when it came on. But try Martha's Kitchen. It's definitely in Northwest Arkansas. It's in the River Valley. It's May. Today is May 1st. Happy May Day.
Yes.
And we just hope that you have the best day and the best month. And we can't wait to see you soon.